Hey there. You getting this weird error where state comes from an incompatible keyword space? Well, you go to the internet. You get in here looking for any solution to this problem. And what do you find? Really, if you read all this, you'll find fuck all. The shader system. It is the shader system. I'm going to show you exactly what's going on and what the hell happened. So how I figured it out is I went to a blank scene and there was a very specific, because this didn't start happening. It started happening all of a sudden when I was working on this thing. Now you'll learn something curious. The error only happens while the object is being rendered inside of the inspector or inside of the scene view here. So as soon as the object appears, bam. So I went in here and I was like, well, hold on, let me just fucking deactivate everything. And we'll see exactly when the error starts happening again. So one by one, started activating everything, and I thought it was the meshes because the meshes have new materials. I've been copying and pasting all of the materials, but actually what it turns out is, and I think part of the problem is because I've been converting my game from a 2D game to a 3D game. So I have this grid here. As soon as I activate this grid, the problem starts. Now what's going on with this grid? It's a problem with the shader system, and I took the default sprite material off, and I added in a line material. So we clear this out. Okay, so if we go back to sprite's default, our tile map's no longer causing an issue. But as soon as you revert this, all this bullshit starts again. So why did I create this custom material? And I'll show you exactly how to fix it. So the reason why is if we go over here to my regular scene, I want this glow. This glow around these things. That's why I created this material. But I just copied and pasted an existing material. And the explosion white, which is I'm using shader graphs, but this is not a shader graphs material. It's just a standard particle. All right, so the solution to this, and obviously one solution is going back to sprite's default material and just fuck it, forget the glow, right? But we want the glow. We are not going to rest until we have the glow. So if you have shader graphs installed and you want the glow, I can help you. If you don't have shader graphs installed, well, good luck. We're gonna name this 2D shader. All right, we got the 2D shader. That way we don't mix up all of our other shaders together and start fucking everything up. We have a lot of stuff here we really do not need. In fact, we're just going to destroy everything and start over. What's the word? I should have just started from scratch. Anyways, you're going to do a texture 2D. You're going to name it main text. The main text property. If it's not named that, shit ain't going to work. Okay. Texture 2D node, or I can't remember what it's called. Sample texture 2D. Alright, and we want to paint it our very pretty color, so we're going to do a multiply, plug that into the B, actually plug it into the A, and this can go to a color. Alright, and we'll convert this to a property named color. That works. This color needs to be of type HDR so I can get my beautiful intensity glow on. Alright, we'll put this back to 0. There's a lot of nonsense over here that you really don't need. So in the graph settings, you're going to modify this to... This material glows, so it really doesn't need to be a lit material. It does not need to interact with metallic textures, all that jazz. You do not need any of that. So all we need is this right here. We have an emission color, which realistically we're not going to need it. Okay, so the output from this multiply is going to go into here, and then our alpha and needs to go into here. If you fuck this part up, then I'll show you exactly what happens. That is the shader that will work for your 2D tile maps to get them to create a glow and not cause you all kinds of headache. Glow. Let's be more specific. 2D glow. Yellow. We'll put this into the 2D materials folder that I've made off screen. I want this override to apply to everything, so we're going to open this, slap this bad boy in here, kablam. Alright, so if you forget to 2D glow material. Alright, this guy has overrides. I do not like it. Now I can see what I'm doing. A little bit this way, a little bit more orange. Okay, so if you forget to plug your alpha in, I'll just delete this. You're going to get these boxes. You don't want that. So don't forget to plug in your alpha value into your fragment here. So save that. Boom. Now you have 2D glow on, or the 3D glow on your 2D objects. And you basically made a sprite default material, and all of the console spamming nonsense is gone. So yeah, if you want to, you know, leave some horrible bug that nobody will ever find ever, and all you got to do is take this grid and put a material in here that was never designed to work. It was never designed to work with that. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if this helped you. Okay, bye-bye.